Great, thanks everybody for coming. As you know, we wanted to form a roundtable to gather some strategies with regard to a new couple we were working with. They want to sell a closely held business to their son. And I know we previously shared some information with each of you, but the basic facts to recap are the business's estimated value is about $15 million, and they have concerns about the two adult children who are not involved in the business. And they're also concerned about what happens to their assets when they pass away. So we'd like to get your thoughts, get some strategies that we'll consider, and particularly those that we might want to implement before they make the sale. So with that, I'd turn it over to Jaden.
So from an estate plan perspective, one of the first places we start obviously is a review of their current estate plan. And we're going to look at that and make sure that there's sufficient liquidity in there to provide equalization for their children if the clients were to pass away, frankly, before the sale was completed. The other thing we'll do along those same lines is help develop additional planning strategies if those are needed to address estate tax concerns. So those strategies could reduce, eliminate, or potentially provide a means to pay any estate tax liability that they may incur. And then finally, we will provide in-depth conversation on some of the non-tax issues with estate planning, such as trustee selection, and just the overall dispositive provisions of their estate plan, just to make sure that those are still accurately reflective of their wishes and their current situation.
Just to continue on what David was saying, as this engagement evolves, we'll be working more and more closely with their legal and tax counsel on developing the solution that makes most sense. And one of the solutions we'll be looking at is a way to get this business sold to the son in a very tax efficient and maybe even eliminate the tax on that transaction itself. A lot of times these things can be done on a seller finance strategy, and as David was saying, have the burden in terms of paying them back be very small, and we can also use that as part of the estate equalization process by considering at the time of the estate distribution, if there's still any unpaid balance of that business, we can use that as part of the estate equalization. So there's a lot of different options here, but there's some great planning opportunities for your clients here.
Yeah, those are really good.
Yeah, really anytime a business is being sold, it's a great time to take a look and reevaluate its retirement plan, especially in this case where the ownership is changing from the parent to a child or their adult son, I guess. But they may have a different philosophical approach to what they want for their employees, so it's a great time to evaluate plan features. You want to look at the fees that the vendors are charging, evaluate the investments in the plan. So it's a good opportunity to do that.
Yeah, they seem to have their heads around what the federal tax implications of the transaction, but one area where we might be able to up some value would be to focus on the state income tax. Maybe there's some buttons we can push, levers we can pull that might result in some state tax savings for them.
Great. Does anybody else have any comments you want to make?
Mike, I'm sure you've already thought of this, but one thing that I didn't hear mentioned was I just wonder, are the siblings all on the same page? Sometimes in a situation like this, where you've got one sibling buying and others staying out, it can be make or break if they're not getting along.
That's a great question. We know that they are not interested in being involved in the business, but we don't think there's been communication with the children as to exactly what the game plan is, and I think it's really important to consider that communication prior to any sale taking place with the one son.
Right.
Well, really, I thank everybody for your input. This is really great. Your ideas are extremely helpful, and as always, your expertise adds a lot to what we get as advisors and our advisor teams, and makes it available every day is really helpful, and it's a really great benefit for our clients. So thanks again, and I'll follow up with each of you soon.